Hey, before I get into the video, I'm recording this after the fact. There's something I forgot to mention. Really quickly, I just want to say that the video you're watching in the back is from Nintendo Nick's Let's Play of the game. He's a friend of mine, who's also a YouTuber, so feel free to check out his channel. I'll hopefully remember to put a link in the description. Also, I'll try to put it in it's in my feature channels if I forget to put a link in the description. But anyway, a lot of the stuff I'm going to be talking about in this video, as you'll hear, is about like how for me this game I've taken it really slowly, and it's a lot about exploration to me and not as much about running and jumping. And also there's this like sick like quadruple jump you can do by like diving on your hat that I've been like mostly getting around that way. But a lot of this stuff, like the taking it slow, exploring, and like that jump, it's probably not going to be reflected correctly in the gameplay you're watching, because Nick plays games usually a lot faster than I do, whereas I play games really slowly. So just keep that in mind when I'm talking about the game, that the gameplay is probably not going to correlate as much, but it is still gameplay of the game, and I wanted to make sure you guys could still watch the beginning of the game, even though I forgot to record gameplay of it. So with that in mind, let's get to the video. What's up, guys? I'm Youngster Skaymore, and I am finally back. It feels like it has been a millennia, and I am so glad to be back to YouTube. I really am. I'm gonna do an update video sometime this month, but I want to not get the update video. I want to like get a couple videos out first and then do the update video. I want to like get on a little bit of a roll before I do that, explaining much more in depth like what's been going on, why I've been gone for so long. But basically, been the busiest time of my life. It was my last high school football season ever. College applications. I'm a high school senior, for those of you who didn't know, and I was working on a game. I still sort of am, but I was working on a game. I learned Game Maker because I don't know, like, I definitely want to do something in the games industry, probably, like, optimally, like, in my dream world, like, a mix of games media and game development, whether it's, like, making games full-time and, like, doing YouTube on the side, or, like, working games media full-time and, like, making my own games on the side. But either way, so I was making a game for my portfolio, sent to colleges, but that was pretty much due December 1st, so I didn't finish the game, I finished the demo, so I finished like the first level of the game. But I'm still pretty happy with that, but that was taking up like all of my time when I wasn't at football and worrying about school and stuff like that. So I did not really have any time to devote to YouTube, but now that it's December, I will have so much more time, and I'm so happy about that. And I'm finally back, baby. I got a lot to catch up on. I have barely played any video games in the last few months, so I got a lot to talk about. I'll touch very slightly right now on what the channel, like, going forward. I'm gonna hopefully, you know, not be gone for another 3 months, start uploading pretty regularly again, but it's gonna be different. I'm not gonna do as much of a focus on Let's Plays, because I know if those of you who've been following me for a while probably know that, like, I would always talk about, yeah, I'm gonna start doing reviews, start doing scripted stuff, but I never really got into it. And I think that's like mostly because I would always be too optimistic about how much time I have, and in like the practicality of like doing all these Let's Plays and trying to get like doing Let's Plays regularly and trying to do all these scripted videos is not as practical as I would like with the amount of time that I have. So I'm going to do less of a focus on like Let's Plays and stuff, probably about once a week, though I think I'll make them a lot longer to make up for that, maybe even less, especially like as I get into swing things, but like probably not much more than once a week when I'm doing Let's Plays. So I will get back into those old things. I'll talk more about this in the update, but I didn't want to like make my update the first thing back, because like I wanted to like get a few videos out to show you guys like I'm actually seriously coming back here. But anyway, those of you who've been commenting and saying like, are you dead? Are you gone off? Did you quit YouTube? I apologize for keeping you all in the dark. I really should have made an update video way back a few months ago. That's on me. But you know, now I'm back, and I'm very glad to be. But today, my YouTube channel is not what we're discussing today. I will be discussing that at a later date in the update, like I said. But today, I want to talk about Super Mario Odyssey, baby! Super Mario Odyssey, as you probably know, brand new 3D Mario game, but not quite brand new. It came out actually a little over a month ago on October 27th, I believe. But since I've been focusing on my game, I did not have time to really play any video games. I didn't buy it because I knew I would get distracted and then I would not finish my game in time. And that is very true, because I was up till like 3 a.m. multiple nights in a row. I skipped school like Wednesday and Thursday, the day before, like the night before my game was due, or a few days before my game was basically. I turned it in Thursday night / Friday morning. I turned it in Friday morning at 3 a.m. But I actually stayed up till 5 a.m. Friday night applying and stuff. So it was ridiculous. So thankfully I did not get that game when it came out. But I did buy it on Friday. I didn't have time to play it Friday. Started playing it Saturday, and I am loving it so far. I thankfully have, like, I mean, I'm sure there's not really that many spoilers, not really a very plot heavy game, but I haven't really like watched any videos of it, or like I've pretty much remained in the dark. Even the trailers, after the direct, the last direct they had in like September, I stopped watching the trailers. I think there were a few more because the direct already had showed so much, so I had stopped watching. I didn't watch anything after that, and that was like a lot of months ago, like what, like 4 months ago, 5 months ago. I think that was in September, so that would be, oh no, 3 months ago. Never mind. I always get confused because like September 7, but no, it's not. It's the 9th month, because I think it was July and August were added. It was like, is that true? Like, they used to be 10 months, then they added July and August and like named them after the Roman, like, not senators, like not dictators, what the heck are they called? Emperors. Because, you know, January, February, March, April, do those have anything to do with numbers? I don't know, but I know there's Augusto and Julius Caesar. Because then there's September, which would be 7, October 8, November 9, December 10. But they're actually 9, 10, 11, 12, because I think July and August got added in there. But that doesn't really have anything, any relevance of this video. These series, this first impression series, I started doing back in March, back when the Switch came out. But I'm going to start getting back into them now, and I'm going to do it more regularly, as I'll talk about in my channel update. But I think this is going to be something I'm doing, like, whenever, like, I start playing a new game, whether it's a brand new game or an old game. And I'll try to do this with pretty much every game I play, if I can. And because I like to, you know, talk about games after a few hours of playing them, and then hopefully review them later and see how my feelings change. But also there are games that I play for a little bit and then don't ever beat, so I'm not going to review them. But I still want to have an outlet to talk about them, you know. So I think that that's a good way to do it. Because otherwise I would only review good games, because I only like play, like, if it's a game that I don't like, I'm not going to beat it probably, since this isn't like my job or anything. I don't have that much free time. I want to play games that I like enjoy. So if there's like a really long game, I'm not just going to beat it if I'm not enjoying it. But then I can't review it. So that's why I want to, like, you know, talk about. That's why I think this series is good also. But it's also good, you know, to talk about games that I'm loving, like this one. And also, you know, I like doing like these sort of discussion videos. I don't think everything needs to be scripted and edited. Like, I am going to be doing scripted and edited reviews and stuff, and top 10s and stuff like that. But I think, you know, these types of videos are fun too. You know, just put your headphones in and listen, maybe while you're eating or something. Or whatever you're doing, or like going for a walk or something with your dog. I don't know what you guys do when you listen to videos. I pretty much am always listening to YouTube videos when I'm not doing it. When I'm doing something that like is mundane, like eating or chores or stuff like that, getting ready in the morning. But anyway, let's cut to the chase. It has been too long. I haven't been on YouTube in many months, so it's gonna take me a little bit to get back into the rhythm. I'm surprised I'm actually like talking so, like, I'm not talking like well, but I'm actually like finding words to say and not just being like what do I say? Because since I've been gone for so long, I was afraid I wouldn't, like, you know, get at that right away. But I'm sort of not, because I'm not getting to the point at all. Let's talk about Super Mario Odyssey. I keep getting distracted and I'm rambling on. So Super Mario Odyssey is really different from everything. My main takeaway, I've played for about, let me tell you how much I've played so far. I've played about 6 hours, I'd say, if I had to estimate, of Super Mario Odyssey so far. I'd like to do these videos maybe a little earlier, after like 3 or 4 hours of play. But yeah, 6 hours is fine. It's a pretty big game, from what I've heard. And I've done the hat, like, there's, if you don't know, like, I guess this might not mean anything. I've done the Cap Kingdom, which is the like tutorial level sort of, but you can go back and there's more stuff. I did the Cascade Kingdom, which is the one with the dinosaur, and I did the Sand Kingdom. I haven't like completely done everything in those kingdoms, but I've gone through those kingdoms a lot. And after I went through the Sand Kingdom, I actually went back to the previous kingdoms, and there was a lot more moons there, which was interesting. So the worlds actually change a little bit after like I don't know what it is. Like, I think it's after like you beat the boss in like the next world and you come back, the worlds are not expanded, they're the same size, but there's like a lot more moons and stuff. And I'm not sure how I feel about that yet, because on the one hand, like, I guess it like provides replayability and it gives you good reasons to come back to the world, but it's also kind of artificial replayability, you know. And I wonder if it would be better, like a better experience, even though it'd be shorter, if just all the moons were available right in the beginning. Because like, I understand why people, like, companies, you know, developers want to provide replayability, but on the other hand, like, there's so many different games, so I feel like sometimes like making you come back to the same place twice and running through the same level twice can be kind of frustrating, especially since like Super Mario Odyssey is a lot about exploring. So like I'll talk about this in a second, but you're gonna be exploring a lot of different places, so it's kind of annoying to have to explore, try to find every moon and all the coins, because there's also these like special coins that there's a certain amount of them, sort of collectibles, all the collectibles that you can, and then I have to go back and explore every little crevice again, because now there's gonna be more. So I haven't completely decided how I feel about that or not after only a few worlds. That's something I'll have to elaborate on in my review when I, you know, make more of a decision. But that is the most, I guess, I don't know, I'm not sure how I feel about that yet, but I don't know why that's what I decided to talk about first. But anyway, Super Mario Odyssey is really, really different from the other 3D Mario games. So any Mario game really. So it's gonna be hard to compare. I haven't played Sunshine. I've played every other 3D Mario, at least a fair amount of it. Actually, I played a little bit of Sunshine at my friend's house, but I played almost all of 64 on the DS, given not the original, which is supposed to be a little bit better for a variety of. Well, I guess it's arguable because the DS one has new characters too. But I played most of Super Mario 64 on DS. I've played a little more than half of Galaxy 1, a little more than half of Galaxy 2. I know I'm a heathen, and I've beaten 3D World, and I've beaten actually 100% of 3D Land. But I gotta say, 3D World is my favorite 3D Mario game. But I don't know whether Odyssey will beat it or not, and it's gonna be really hard to compare them because most Mario games are about running and jumping. But like, you know, like if you ever hear about Nintendo talk about their game design, they talk about like one like feature on like you want to make the game all about like this is what the game is about. Like you go back to the original Super Mario Brothers, and the game is about jumping. Like obviously, game design has gotten a lot more complicated since then, but this is just a very elementary example. You know, the game is about jumping. That's why the first enemy you see is like a Goomba, and there's like blocks above you. So if you try to jump over him, you'll probably hit the blocks and land on him, and then you'll. Oh wait, no, maybe that's with the mushroom. That's to make you land on the mushroom, so you know it's good. But either way, like there's a Goomba, and the only thing you can do is jump. But like he's got a soft top, and you can bounce on him, and stuff like that. And like the Koopas, and then there's like spine shells, so like there's spikes on top. Or spines, whatever they're called, so you can't jump on them. But like everything in the game is like based around that. Like there's like mechanics, like how do you get question mark? How do you get power-ups? You jump and hit the blocks, you know. Actually that was kind of a bad example, but like for example, like take 3D World, which is my favorite 3D Mario. In 3D World, you're constantly sprinting. At least me, the way I play, I'm constantly holding X. I'm constantly sprinting. I'm constantly jumping and jumping from platform to platform, and that's how I play. That's how I play the game. And that's how I think most people play those games. It's like you don't like take a few steps, like look over here, take a few steps, stop, look over here. But Super Mario Odyssey, I play a lot different. It's like I play that like practically more similar to how I play Breath of the Wild than how I play 3D World, which is crazy. One of the main reasons for this, like, or one thing that's evident in this is like there's actually no there's no sprint button. And let me talk about, I guess, before I get into this completely, I'll go back to the beginning of the game, which will elaborate on stuff. I probably should have started at the beginning of the game. But like I said, I haven't done a YouTube video in a long time, not super organized, so bear with me. But this is gonna be a nice, long, hefty discussion about my feelings about Super Mario Odyssey. As far as that's pretty great, I think, because I'm just happy to do this. Happy you guys listen to me. I hope that you guys are happy that I'm back, and I hope you stay here for more videos. And I hope that if you're new, you stay too. But anyway, the beginning of the game starts out with I left a wide open tangent. I'll get back to it. I'll get back to what I was talking about earlier. But I want to talk about the beginning of the game to lead into some of the stuff. The beginning of the game tucks out in a way I really like, and probably the best. Is it the best intro out of any 3D Mario games? Definitely better than 64. Definitely better than Galaxy. I don't like how Galaxy like lifts up the castle, because you could argue Galaxy's better because like you actually get to like walk around first and then the thing happens. Sunshine is a pretty good intro, but I don't know. Whatever. Either way, Odyssey has a really good intro. I think it's probably the best. The thing is, Galaxy, I know the castle, I don't like how they lifts up the castle, because like he did that already in Paper Mario, so it's kind of weird they just did the exact same thing. But in Odyssey, you see it's a cutscene, and you're in an airship across above Peach's castle, and the cutscene is incredibly well done. And Mario's fighting Bowser, but Bowser's in like a wedding, like a white wedding tux, and he's got like this top hat on with like spikes on it, and Peach is like behind him, like, and or Peach is behind Bowser. So Bowser throws his hat at Mario. I think like shoots firebomb too. Mario dodges it. And then he throws his hat at Mario. Mario dodges it, but then like as they're fighting, the hat comes back and hits Mario and knocks him off the airship. It's a little unrealistic. Like it doesn't look like it's doing that. It's like a hat. It's not that powerful, and that makes it go flying, which is kind of like weird. But and then Mario. She probably says that. I don't remember. And then Bowser. It's the voice. Oh, I love how the voices work in this game. Then Bowser's like, I'm gonna marry Peach. How do you feel about that, Mario? But he doesn't actually say it. He just goes, Mario. And it just has like the text under him. And all the characters talk like that. And I really like that. It reminds me a lot of Hollow Knight, which is actually a game I played about 5 or 6 hours of. I stopped playing because I wasn't really enjoying it that much by the time I got to the 5-6 hour mark, because I thought it started to kind of get repetitive. But one of the things I really do like about the game is the voice work, and that's how all the voices work in Super Mario Odyssey. Like there's this other, Cappy, we'll talk about in a little bit, is like the ghost that possesses your hat, and when he talks to you, it's just like, Agua, and then it shows up a bunch of text, and then he's like, Agua, and then a bunch more text, and like I really like the sounds are so like personable and like they make me feel like I know the character, even though they're just nonsensical sounds, which is really cool. And all the characters talk like that, and I really like it. I think it's really charming, because I think it would have like been stupid, like if like Bowser was like, "Nice try, Mario," but like the and like it's just cooler. And same thing, especially with like the new bad guys that are replacing the Koopalings, I guess. The way, like, I feel like if they just like said their plan, it would have sounded ridiculous, but then they're just like, "Oh yeah," and then it just shows the text. Like, I think that's just, I think it is a really good idea. Then anyway, Mario's hat gets ripped. I forget how. I think his hat got like knocked off. Oh, his hat got knocked off while he like dodged a fireball or something, and then the hat knocked Mario without a hat off the boat, and then Bowser like stomped on his hat, and then it like fell off the airship and got like cut up in the airship's propellers. So then, as you're Mario, you land in this like place, this mysterious place. It was a very interesting. This is one of the great things about the game, like that. Just right away, it starts off so well, because most Mario games, it's so cookie cutter. You start off in this like grasslands. You know where you start in Super Mario? I know, and that's not true in like all the 3D Mario games. So a lot of 3D Mario games do a good job about this, but still, like given the last many Mario games was like 3D Land, 3D World, New Super Mario Bros. U, New Super Mario Bros. 2. By the way, I hate that game. The one on the 3DS, oh, so bad, in my opinion. But that's for another day. You all start off in grass worlds and all those places, but in this, you land in this like sick, like black, white, and gray like ghost town. That's like themed of hats. And which is such a cool place to start the game. It's like, whoa, this is different. This isn't some run-of-the-mill Mario. This is something else. And just in that first little, like, place right where I landed, I spent about 30 minutes just like testing out all the ways Mario moves. Because the way Mario moves is so unique in this game. What this is going to come back to what I was talking about earlier, but Mario actually doesn't run nearly as fast. There's no sprint button, which is, true in a lot of the 3D Mario games, like 64 or Sunshine. I think Sunshine doesn't have one, but I'm not completely sure. And the Galaxy games don't have one. There's no sprint button. He gets to top speed very quickly, like, which I like, because in Galaxy I really didn't like how I felt like it was hard for him to like accelerate, and then I thought like if you like tried to run and jump like right after you start running, like he wouldn't jump that far until you like, I don't know. I just thought the movement was a little weird in Galaxy, but he like gets his top speed almost instantly, and his jumps are like always have a lot of momentum. But his top speed is actually not that fast. Not nearly as fast in 3D World and 3D World and 3D Land. And I haven't played the Galaxy games in a while, but I think it's like significantly slower than Galaxy and the Galaxy games 64. Maybe not that much slower, but I haven't played those games in a while, but from what I feel like it's a lot slower. And also his jump is not nearly as high and not nearly as far. Like normally like you think of Mario and you think like boing, but like I'm playing these games and like I'm seeing platforms that Mario would normally I would just jump on, but that's not how I treat in this game. He just can't. He doesn't jump that high and he doesn't run that fast. So the game like really isn't about running and jumping. It has another emphasis, and I'll continue to talk about that in a bit. But let me continue to talk about all the controls and stuff, like how I literally just spent 30 minutes just like moving around, and that's how sick like the movement is in this game. I really like it, but it's it's just hard to compare it to the other Mario games. Like, is it better or worse? It's hard to say because it's so different. It's practically a different type of game. But you can run and jump like Mario can, although it feels a lot different. You can also throw your so you probably know this. I don't need to get too deep, but you get a hat, or this ghost, like your hat flips down, it's broken, but there's this ghost guy, this like who lives in the Hat Cap Kingdom is actually what it's called, and they're like these ghosts that like wear hats and like have eyes with their hats. But one of them named Cappy, Bowser took his sister Tiara, who like is a ghost with a tiara, and uses that as a tiara for Peach for the wedding, or he's planning on it at least. So you and Cappy team up because you both have to save someone from Bowser. So Cappy possesses your hat. Now you can throw your hat and you can possess things, which is sick. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But you can throw your hat, but not only can you possess things, I think that's like the thing that sold the game. Like, oh my gosh, I'm buying this. You can possess a dinosaur. But I think the jumps and stuff you can pull off with the hat like actually differentiates this game more from other Mario games than the possessing thing. Because the possessing thing is kind of like it's a cool thing. But it's only going to be like 10% of the game you're possessing things, or 15% of the game, or whatever. Even if it's 20%, like it's not, but it's only going to be like a certain percent of the game. But you're always like, you always have that hat with you, because you always do those tricks, and they add a lot. So first of all, you can like throw your hat, and just like you can throw your hat out, and it can hit enemies. And you can also possess certain things, but you can throw your hat out, and you can hold it there in place, just out, and you can run, and you can hit it, and you can jump off it, like get a really high jump, or you can throw it off a ledge. and then jump on it and bounce. But that's like you'd almost never do, because of what I'm going to continue to say is there's also these things. This thing you can do after you do ground pound. So if you jump and then press ZL, which is a ground pound, but then right after you initiate the ground pound, press Y, you do like this like air dive. Oh, but shoot, I forgot to mention this earlier. I meant to mention this at the beginning. The gameplay you're watching is Nintendo Nick's gameplay. So shout out to him. Go check out his. You know what? I'm gonna say this in the. I'm gonna add a little thing in the beginning. I think, and say that. But in case I forgot to, the gameplay you're watching is Nintendo Nick's gameplay, so it's not mine. So he plays games a lot faster than I do, on a lot less slow. But so it's what I'm saying is not gonna what I say is not gonna reflect accurately in the gameplay you're watching. He gave me permission to use it, so that's really awesome. Go check his channel. He's done like a whole Let's Play of Mario Odyssey at this point, so if you want to check that out, feel free. But anyway, please do. But anyway, I probably will put something about that in the beginning. But you can also do this like dive, so you can jump and then do a dive and get you a lot like more distance. But what you can also do is you can jump and then throw your hat in the air and then dive, land on your hat, bounce off your hat, throw your hat again, and then dive again. You can't bounce off the hat the second time, unless you do it once per like jump. But the reason you would throw the hat again is just to get like a tiny little bit more distance and like a little more hang time, just to like gather yourself and make sure you're going in the right direction for that second dive. But you can get so much air just on one jump that it's practically flying, and it's a maneuver I'm using constantly. Like I'm like not running and jumping around. That's how I'm getting around for the most part, which is another reason why it's so different from other Mario games, because it's not about running and jumping. It's about I'm like freaking flying around with these sick hat jumps. But so like you can jump once and get so much distance. And I wish I could show you that. I don't know if Nick's doing it in this gameplay or not, because which is unfortunate if he's not. But I forgot. I'm not looking at it right now, but I don't think he did it that much, if at all. But hopefully you guys can understand what I'm talking about. It's like a dive. It's like you jump and then he just dives forward. Like he gets like another arc. It's like a double jump, but it's like a sine wave. Like it's 45 degrees. And then he tilts back down, but then you can land on the hat, and it's so good. So you're practically flying around this whole game. Like you're on a building, there's another building, like another one of these hat buildings. Like it seems like pretty far away, and you can just get all the way to it in one jump. Especially with the long jump. The long jump returns. It's where you like are running and you like quickly crouch and then jump, and you go like whee, and you go like more horizontal but less vertical, but like significantly more horizontal. although even that I don't think it's quite as long as like 3D World, because like I said, you can't jump as high or far and stuff like that. But that maneuver, that maneuver monopolizes the whole game. Like at least that's what I've been doing the whole game, because there's no reason not to. And it's a really fun way to get around. But it's like I said, I follow the same theme. It's so different from typical Mario that it's hard to compare. Like, is it better or worse? Like, I wouldn't want every Mario game to have that, because like I still enjoy the running and jumping of 3D World, you know. But I really love this new maneuver of how to get around. So it's interesting. I'm not quite sure. It's hard to compare them. Like I hope that Nintendo like switches every 3D Mario game now. I hope they like make a 3D World-esque game and then like an Odyssey-esque game. That'd be pretty cool. But obviously, I'm like not saying don't make any new ideas either. But you know what I mean. I think that would be a good plan. Although I think there'd be a lot of people like who would be upset about new 3D World. Like, oh, you just said Odyssey, this great game that won all these awards, now you're making another 3D World. Why? But I think 3D World is really underrated. And I think that I would really love that if they like did one off, because they scratch such different itches, you know. But like I said, not that far into Odyssey, so this is just like my initial opinions. In addition to that, there's some other movement options too. You can do like the backflip jump, like after crouching, like you could do in a lot of the other games, and you can do the like running and then jump backwards, and like it's like a you get higher than normal. And you can also do the triple jump. But like I've done the triple jump almost never, except for like when I was originally testing out, and there's one part of one level that you're specifically supposed to do it. I've never done it because there's no point, because I'm not running and jumping, because you don't even go that fast running, you don't go that high jumping, so I'm just flying around with my sick hat and dives, and it's freaking awesome. I really do enjoy it. It's just so different. And then another thing you can do is you can roll. Rolling is really fun. You can just like continually roll everywhere, especially on a hill. You go so fast if you're rolling down a hill. That's awesome. They learned from, I guess, Breath of the Wild's shield surfing. Everyone loved that. Just a sick way to get down hills. And even if you're going on flat ground or going up hills, you can just keep pressing the Y button while you're rolling, and you'll just like keep going, and it's pretty sick. It's obviously better if you're going downhill. And then there's also like this spin jump you can do that makes you like float up, and then you can like press ZL and like go down really fast. Kind of like if you know in New Super Mario Bros. DS, like they had those like things you could jump on. They're like springs, and you go like wee. Then you like float down, spinning slowly, and then you can also hold down and go down a lot. Kind of like the propeller suit, Super Mario Bros. New Super Mario Bros. Wii, but it's not like a propeller. He just like jumps, like he jumps a little bit higher. Kind of like the spin jump in Super Mario 3D World, except or Super Mario World, but it's just slow motion. Like so, he jumps up a little slow and he like floats down kind of slow. And that's another cool thing you can do. I think that's pretty much it for the motion, but it was just the motion is just so unique and so different from the other from any other Mario game I've ever played that I literally, like I said, spent 30 minutes in the original area just moving around and having fun. And it's really, 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 really sick. Next, I'll talk about, so also the camera. Most Mario games I haven't played. I see, this is the thing. Like, I know that I think you can actually move the camera in 64. Well, I played 64 on the DS, and I played when I was very young, and I didn't even like the camera controls. I think were pretty bad on the DS. I didn't like control the camera. I just like walked, like moved, and like let the camera move automatically. I think when I played 64 DS. And Sunshine I haven't played that much of, but at least in the more recent 3D Mario games, Galaxy, Galaxy 2, 3D Land, 3D World, you cannot control the camera. So the game isn't really about, the games weren't really about exploring that much. It was just, you know, about running and jumping, like I said. But with the camera and since you can move the camera and the game has such beautiful environments, Super Mario Odyssey, I spent a lot of time exploring. Like I'm exploring Breath of the Wild. Also, there's a lot of incentive to explore. In like 3D World, 3D Land, there was pretty bad incentives to explore because there was like the coins, the star coins in 3D Land and the green stars in 3D World, but they were like, oh, you have to get all of them to do this. But getting most of them, that's like meaningless practically. So like it was kind of annoying. It's like, oh, I have to go get all of these. I have to make sure all of them. So I felt like a chore. But like in Odyssey, it's like no, each world or each kingdom has its own unique currency, and like each store is like, oh, if you get like 50% of the currencies, you'll be able to buy all the costumes from that world, and then the rest of them will just get you like these like souvenirs that you can hang up in your hat. So you don't feel left out if you got only like 70% of the souvenirs. You don't feel like I have to get all of them, but you're still rewarded for getting more. So I think it's a really, really great way to do it, and you're constantly looking around everywhere and exploring because there's so many secrets and there's like these currencies hidden everywhere, and the levels have a lot of like I guess like it's a buzzword, but like verticality kind of like that you can like go like under this area. There's like there's some stuff, some goodies, like go over this area if you like jump off, but then throw your hat and jump back on it, you can like go under and like find something else. So there's stuff hidden around constantly. So I'm like whereas in like other 3D World I'm just sprinting to the goal. In this game it's like Zelda, whereas I'm like covering every inch of my tracks and going literally everywhere and seeing what I can find. There's a fair amount of invisible coins too that you'll just like get because I'm exploring every little nook and cranny, and it's so fun to do. It's really so fun. But that's just another thing that's so different about other 3D Mario games. It's, you know, they're usually about just running and jumping, going fast, and this one's about exploring. And as a result of all these things, I guess it's fair to say that the platforming, at least so far, is probably worse, I guess, in Odyssey. But that's because that's not like what it's going for. That's not like what its goal is. Like obviously you can say the platforming in Zelda is worse too, but that's like it's a different game, you know. And obviously I'm not saying it's Zelda. It's like, but it's so weird. Like I would say Super Mario Odyssey is like a halfway in between Breath of the Wild and like Super Mario 3D World. Like that's how different it is from a traditional Mario game. Like it has like almost as many similarities to a Zelda game than to another 3D Mario game, which is really interesting. And it's a really interesting way, like way to move the series like forwards, I guess. Like not like forwards, like it's necessarily better. That's not what I mean. Just a really different change, I guess, for this series. A really interesting change for this series, and I'm really liking it so far. Let's see. So that's really the main theme of what my impressions so far have given me. It's just such a different game than any 3D Mario game because it's not about running and jumping. You're constantly like flying around on your hat, and if you're not flying, you're rolling. You're almost never jumping, you know. And if you are jumping, it's like jump, wall jump, throw your hat, dive, and then to get on like a really high building. Actually, just throw your hat, bounce off the hat, so you get really high, wall jump, throw your hat again towards the building, and then dive onto the building, and just stuff like that. And it's like, for example, the Sand Kingdom, I know. This isn't an example I just said, but another thing, example like the Sand Kingdom, like you know, most 3D, even 64, which had like these like worlds, I guess, like not really worlds, had these like big areas with like multiple things to do. Like you're still constantly running and jumping, but like Super Mario Odyssey is jam-packed with secrets, and 64 was not jam-packed with secrets at all. But everywhere you look, there's like a secret and something to find, and there's people to talk to. I think you could probably talk to people in Sunshine. but I didn't play much of the game. But for the most part, like, you never really talk to people in 3D Mario games. But honestly, like, there's constantly like NPCs that you can just run around, and you don't have to like press A on most of them. Most of them will just like have words pop above their head, which is really nice. But there's a couple that, like, I guess I don't know why they didn't do this. Like, why some of them say you actually have to press A. Maybe it's because they have more than one line of dialogue. But then there's some that you actually have to press A to talk to. But those guys are actually, it's really annoying because sometimes like I'll jump and I'll land right next to them and I'll press A when I'm clearly right next to them, but then Mario will just jump again. So you actually have to go next to them and like wait a second, and then like the A will appear. It's pretty frustrating, but not a huge deal. Moons are, by the way, the currency in this game. Like, not currency. So I already talked. There's like coins. There's like the individual kingdom currencies. That each kingdom has some currency, and there's moons, which is like the power stars in this game. I think there's like 999 moons or something like that. That's what I heard, and that is freaking insane. That is so many. 900. Imagine those 999 stars in like 64 or something. But they are more common. But that's because that's another example. It's about exploring. Like, there's no way they could fit 999 stars in 64 because the game wasn't. Okay, be quiet. I don't care. Sorry, my computer made noise. Because it wasn't about exploring. That wasn't what the emphasis was on. But that's what the emphasis is on in Odyssey. Because everywhere you look, you're going to be looking around here, and you're going to be finding a moon, and here's another moon, and that's a really cool thing. Like I said, I still don't know how I feel about. I talked about this earlier. How like the world's like more moons appear like after you've already left the world. I don't know how I'm going to feel about that. Whether I'm going to be like it because I maybe replay it more, which I enjoyed, or maybe I'm not going to like it because it's going to be annoying having to go back through the same levels. I really don't know how I feel about that yet. But that's why they're called first impressions, I guess. There are also some areas, you know, where you'll go into like indoors, like some area. And I was expecting those to be more platformer focused, because a lot of the areas are just like worlds that you're running around in. So like there's not like a lot of like platforming to be done. But there's still like it's hard to explain. Like the Sand Kingdom, for example, like is a lot of flat sand. There's a lot of like rolling around. Then there's a lot of like, you know, jumping on buildings and stuff. But it's not just like running and jumping, you know. I feel like I'm going in a circle. I feel like I've made my case with that. But then when you go inside, I was just expecting those to be like, alright, this is going to be some platforming. And even those, like, were barely focused on platforming. There's this one place in the Sand Kingdom where you go, like, inside this temple, but it was actually just focused on the capture mechanic of a specific enemy. And it was actually focused on capturing the bullet bill. So I guess I'll talk about that for a little bit. The main draw, like, the main thing that drew many people to this game, was, like, the thing that, like, they showed in the second trailer and was like, oh my gosh, this is insane, was that, well, actually, I mean, it was even the first trailer, people were like, oh my gosh, Mario's in a city with real people. I haven't gotten to that city yet, for the most part. I found actually, like, a shortcut to get there, but it only allowed me to get to, like, this one little corner of the city and found a moon, and then the shortcut took me back to Sand Kingdom, so I haven't really gone to New York City yet. But the second trailer had this thing that people were like, oh my gosh, this is in the game, oh my gosh, this is incredible, and that was that Mario could throw his hat onto, characters, I don't know if called characters, like what, onto certain creatures, and possess them. And what's really I don't like is it actually said the amount of, like, you in the pause menu, like there's like lists, and it was like captures, and there was just a list of the enemies, or not necessarily enemies, but the stuff that you could throw your hat onto and capture. And it doesn't list them all. It only lists them. They only appear, like kind of like the Pokédex. It only appears once you actually have done it. But it showed the total amount, which I really didn't like. Someone would be like, wait, like, okay, now this is just this many more to this amount, which I feel like I just wish they hadn't told me the amount. I'm not going to say the amount for you guys just in case you have that same thing as me, but it is a pretty hefty amount, I would say. Should I say the amount? Alright, I'm going to say the amount in about 10 seconds, and I'm going to start counting down from 5, and then I'm going to say the amount of captures that there are, and then 3 seconds later I'll start talking again. So ready? In case you don't want to know the exact amount of captures, cover your ears when I get to 0. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 53, I think. So yeah, that's the amount of captures there are. So I think it's a pretty good amount. I just hadn't told us. In case you want to know about like the scale, but you can capture that many different things. You can throw your hat on them and control them. And I thought this was gonna be like the main thing of the game, but this actually has like less of a focus than I expected. And like I think it has a good amount of focus, like because it is fun. It is really cool. Like you think about like, oh my gosh, this is sick. I want to control a T-Rex. Oh my gosh, this is sick. I want to control a Goomba. That's insane. But like none of them are, if I'm being honest, none of them are as fun as controlling Mario. And I wish like I wasn't saying that, because like I'm always like for like variety in gameplay, and I'm always for that. I'm always for like, oh yeah, if you can have variety in this way. So I'm really glad that it is. I do really like this. I do, at least so far, obviously first impressions. I really think I like this. Like how you control. So far I like control the frog, control chain, and each of them does their own thing. So for the frog, just jumps like 100 feet into the air. He can jump super high, so you can reach super high platforms. And you can also capture each only in like certain areas, so you can't just like capture frog and like play through the whole game with the frog, you know. It's only in certain areas and that you can't really leave with it. I captured the frog. I captured like this electric, like the telephone wires, which lets you just like zip around on like these specific wires. But it's only on specific wires. And then I captured the T-Rex, which is in the second world of the game, which is really crazy. But he actually doesn't control like that great. I don't know. He just kind of like run around with him and like press B to smash stuff. But it is really cool. Like just like running around as a T-Rex. But I wish like they did a little bit more with him. Like you didn't really do that many interesting things with him. The Goomba, I captured him. He just like doesn't slip on ice, and like that's like so like see like all these it seems like so cool. Like, oh, I'm playing as Goomba, but it's really like not that interesting. It's just like, yeah, he just runs and like jumps not that fast or not that high and doesn't run that fast, but he doesn't slip on ice. Like that's what Goomba can do. But you can also like stack as the Goombas, which is really cool. You can like stack on a bunch of other Goombas, and you can jump off as Mario and like reach high places. So I really do like the capture, like how they the chain chomp, like all he does is like you like run towards the edge of his chain and release and like jump off of him, and then it like he shoots back the other way and can like smash stuff. So each of the like things you can capture just has like a minor function. So it's really not like that big of a factor of the game. It's not like the most important thing in the game or like a huge gameplay thing. But it is a cool addition, and it is really sick. Like, oh, I'm gonna control this for a few minutes, and I really do like it. But each of them, it does feel like a little like underwhelming. It's like, all right, this guy does this, and like after 30 seconds, it does kind of lose its novelty for each individual capture. But that's okay, because that's just like one part of the game. That's not what the game is like focused on. It's like, all right, now you're capturing this, now you're capturing this. It's like every once in a while you'll do one of those things, and it's just a really, really neat idea and really sick. I think they can do more with it. I think maybe, but I don't know. Like I said, this is just my first impressions. I haven't thought of anything completely through yet, but I really do like the idea. Executed okay, but it's not like it's just such a small part. Like that's the thing. They went through all this trouble to have like all these different things you can control just for like this like small part of like this like thing that happens every once in a while, and that's so much like attention to detail and so much effort, and I really think that is really, really cool. There's also these things you can like run on the wall, like to go to a pipe and turn to like 2D Mario, and that's pretty cool. I should start probably wrapping this up. I've touched on a lot of things. I haven't touched on completely everything, you know, but like you know, this first impression video, so I can only touch on everything. That's been like 35 minutes. Wow. Like I would like to. Oh, let's talk about the bosses. So the bosses, there's these new characters inside of the Koopalings. There's like these rabbit guys, and they all look very unique. There's only like 4 of them that I saw, but I've already fought 2 of them. So I wonder if there'll be more, or if you'll have to. Hopefully you don't have to just refight them. I'm hoping there'll be more. But I've done 3 boss fights so far, and 2 of them. No. Have I done 3? I've done, I think, 4 boss fights, actually. Now I don't remember. Because I think I definitely did a boss fight at the end of the Cap Kingdom. I definitely did a boss fight at the end of the... did I do one at the... Yeah, there's definitely one at the end of the Cascade Kingdom, which is the one with the dinosaurs. And I definitely did one at the end of the... I did one, I can explicitly remember the Sand Kingdom. I think I did 2 in the Sand Kingdom. I think there was 4 bosses so far in the 3 kingdoms I've done. Because there was 1 boss in the Sand... All the bosses except for 1 were these rabbit guys, but 1 was like this like sick other guy that reminds me of like the guy with like the rock hands from Kirby Superstar or Superstar Ultra. Like the jewel hands, you know? That guy's, and that was a fun boss fight. You actually like, I'm not gonna tell you what the boss fight's like, but that was a sick boss fight. All of the boss fights have so far have involved like capturing like something that they use. Like I guess I'll talk about the first boss fight. And or should I? I don't know if I was. Yeah. Wait, was this the first boss fight? I don't think I don't remember what the first boss fight was. Like, there's one boss fight I'm forgetting about. Was it the first one? Let me see. Let me give me like 10 seconds to think. See if I remember the first boss was. I don't know. Whatever. It's not a big deal. Each of the boss fights, they're like pretty cool. How it's like these brand new characters are using as villains. I really, really like that. They've got a fair, even though they haven't had like too many lines so far. I really like them so far. Their animation just looks like. By the way, this game is beautiful. Let me tell you, this game is beautiful. It is just like the characters look so good. Like they just look so detailed and so nice, and the environments look really good too. There's a flat. I mean, like, I don't know. There's a. I'm not a huge like fan of how the like the Cascade Kingdom, like there's like a flat grass texture. But that's a stupid way. I shouldn't have said that. That's not. Doesn't matter. It's really good. Like cause I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so sick. I was moving the camera around, and I like was looking at the grass. I'm like, oh, this is just. Some of this is, a lot of this is just flat. It's not like sticking out, but whatever. For the most part, everything looks beautiful, and after 10 seconds, I forgot about that, and it looked beautiful again, and the whole game looked beautiful, and like you're looking out, Cascade Kingdom, there's like sick waterfalls. I've only done 3 kingdoms so far. I have no idea how many there are. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. I don't want to like know that. I just want to keep playing and keep enjoying it. As for the boss fights, they're pretty cool. They're like new stuff. We haven't ever like seen this stuff before. It's not like redone boss fights. Like it's not like similar to any boss fights I've had before. And each of them like involves you. I'll talk about one of them that happens really early on. One of them is like there's this like fat bunny who like has a chain chomp as like a pet dog, and then chain chomp attacks you, but you can capture the chain chomp. You have to first throw the hat at it once, knock its hat off, because you can't capture something that has a hat. By the way, you can capture most things. The rule is like you can capture anything that doesn't have a hat. If it already has a hat, you can't capture it. And as all the NPCs like that are good guys have hats, so your hat just bounce off them. But there's every once in a while there's something you can't capture. Like there's these like little Goombas that are tiny and yellow that you can't capture because you killed them right away. But for some reason, one of the bosses, like its hat got knocked off, and then you had to jump on it. But you could. I was like, oh, I'll capture it, but you couldn't capture it. So that was just kind of weird. That like, oh, that was kind of an oversight. Its hat came off, but like I can't capture it for some reason. Anyway, there's one boss that you have to like capture its chain chomp, but then like run away from it and then release, so the chain chomp shoots out, hits her in the face, and you have to like jump on her or something. So all the bosses is like injure them some way by catching something that they use and then jump on them. And it was just like do that 3 times and then the boss fight's over. I like the boss fights, but I think they're way too short. Like I would beat them in like less than a minute or like less than 2 minutes. Because it's just 3 hits, and I think that instead they should make like 3 hits, and now they do this other phase and then 3 hits, and maybe even one more of those. But at least I think 6 hits with like 2 different phases, I think would be better. But I do really like them. They are pretty unique, but I just think they should last long. Even if it was, actually no, never mind. But yeah, I think that's what it should be, like maybe another phase for each of the boss fights. I think that'd be cool. That's pretty much, I think, all I'm gonna say about. I should talk about the music. Music is, well, it's pretty good so far. I don't remember. The music is like pretty good. I liked it a lot in the Cap Kingdom. In the Cap Kingdom, it was pretty good. I liked it a lot. But it fit the tone really well. But it wasn't like anything exceptional. But it was pretty good. I don't remember what the cutscene music was like in the beginning. Then the Cascade Kingdom music is really good. That's very similar to Galaxy. So if you like, a lot of people loved Galaxy's music. I think it's like the best music ever. I think it's like pretty darn. I think it's really good. The Galaxy music, but it's not like exactly my thing. But the Cascade Kingdom music was very similar to Galaxy music. So you really like Galaxy music, you really like that Kingdom's music. I liked it a lot, but it wasn't like my favorite in the world. Then the Sand Kingdom was weird. Like there's some areas that just like don't really have, they just don't have music. Like I'll be like walk around Sand Kingdom, no music. And then I'll get close to town, there'll be some music. Then I'll go to another part, there'll be like some different music. But the music in the Sand Kingdom has been kind of like all over the place. Like there's been some that are like, there are some parts of it that are like the music's pretty good, and some parts of it because you go inside to different places a lot in the Sand Kingdom. So some had some like kind of good music, some had some like no music for some reason. But the music's been pretty good so far. Nothing like exceptional so far in the first 3 kingdoms, but nothing like, it's pretty good. I don't know why I'm talking about this. The music has been pretty good so far. And is that pretty much it? Is that all I'm going to talk about today? I guess that is. I think that's enough for my first impressions of Super Mario Odyssey. I know this has gone for 40 minutes somehow, but I've got a lot to say. I love Mario. Mario is one of the most important franchises of my life, probably only behind Pokemon and Smash Bros. I would say it probably goes Pokemon, Smash Bros, and Mario, and like the most important franchises of my life. But I don't know. Mario could be higher because like Pokemon is my favorite game series, and like played so much. And Smash Bros. I absolutely love. Also, has gotten me into a lot of other game series from playing Smash Bros. Because like all those characters, that's like made me a huge Nintendo fan. But Mario, I mean, all 3 of those are fighting for like the most important in my life. Because like even Mario, my first ever like video game, like I had some plug and play games, and like like some plug and play, like old like Atari games. Or actually, no, primarily I had the plug and play Namco games from arcades. But I also had like one that was Atari, and like I had like Madden 95, NHL 95, like this golf game, Golden Tee or something like that, maybe. A bunch of plug games. My first plug and play games, and I played a bunch of games on like, I had like 1 or 2 PC games that like my parents downloaded, or I had one that was a disc and one that was downloaded. And then I played a bunch of games on like the web, I guess. But my first, actually, I don't think I did that much as a child. But my first like video game console was a Nintendo DS Lite that I got in 1st grade for Christmas, and the game that I got with it was New Super Mario Bros. DS. So Mario has had a huge impact on my life, and ever since then I've absolutely loved Mario. I played New Super Mario Bros. DS, very great, underrated game. The multiplayer is fantastic, especially too. You should really give that a try if you haven't, especially the multiplayer. It's so good, local multiplayer. Play local multiplayer New Super Mario Bros. 2 with your friends, you will not regret it. There's actually multiplayer in Odyssey too, but it's just like the second player controls the cap, which like seems like not fun. Seems like it's like forced 2 players, but I haven't tried it, so I don't know. But it seems like I would rather just play 1 player. I don't know. But like I said, I haven't tried it. And then since then, I've played almost every Mario game that's come out since then. Like every Mario, like I just love Mario so much. Like I played every new Super Mario Bros. Game. Played most Super Mario platform. I played Super Mario Bros. Lost Levels, Mario Bros. 2. I haven't played Mario Bros. 3 actually. Although I played some at a friend's house. Played Mario World. But all New Super Mario Bros. Like I said, I played almost all 3D Mario games for the most part. I haven't played as much of them. I haven't beaten Galaxy, so I played most of each. You know, because I actually rented Galaxy 1 from the library. What happened was I owned Galaxy 2 and I played most of it, but then I found Galaxy 1 at the library, so I'm like, oh, let me rent this and I'll start playing this now because, you know, I have to return it eventually. So I played most of that, but I didn't return it, and then I just didn't get back to Galaxy 2. So I played a lot of both, but I didn't beat either. And you know, the RPGs, I played a lot of those too. Mario Kart, one of the biggest franchises of my life. I played all of them. Like, I owned all of them since one of the DS. And played all of them, all of those ones, like, religiously. And then I've even gone back and played some of the older ones. And it's just Mario, such an important franchise in my life, such an important franchise in almost everybody's life, because it's one of the most popular gaming franchises there are, if not the most popular. I don't know what is the most popular. Probably not Mario. It's probably like, I don't know, League of Legends or something. But like I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe in America it's Mario, because like League of Legends is really big in America, but it's also like bigger in like Asia, like China. I think is it in China big? I don't know. Maybe that's wrong. I know there's some MOBAs that are really big in China. Like there's this one that's like not that big everywhere else, but it's really big in China. So I don't know if there's. I don't know. Whatever. This is not relevant. Mario, incredible franchise, but they've done a lot of similar stuff in the past few years, so it's really crazy how they're doing such a huge brand new thing. With Super Mario Odyssey going on so many. Same thing as Zelda, like this year, like they both did something completely new, and they're both been incredibly successful. I absolutely love Super Mario Odyssey so far. I highly recommend you get it. My final takeaway, though, that I'd like to emphasize is it's practically a different genre, in my opinion, from the 3D Mario games. I take games really slowly. Like, you've been watching Nintendo Nick play, and he goes through so fast, and you're just like he plays games so much faster than I do. But like, if you were watching my, unfortunately, I didn't record my gameplay at the beginning. I wish I did. But if you were watching my gameplay, you would see me like just like looking everywhere and looking around everywhere. And it took me over an hour to get through that the Hat Kingdom. I'm sure he's already well into the Cascade Kingdom by now. But it took me over an hour just to get through that Hat Kingdom. Because I was just, you know, exploring so much. Probably way longer than that, because I spent 30 minutes, like I said, just jumping around and stuff like that, which is pretty fun. But this game is a lot about exploring. It's a lot about moving around that right stick, you know, finding secrets, finding moons, finding the currencies, like the purple coins that are different in each world, and even just finding regular coins is very fun. And finding all these secrets, and it's not about running and jumping. It's about, you know, it's about jumping and throwing that hat, diving on it, throwing it again, diving again, flying across everywhere, and rolling and using all these sick movement options. And I think if you're looking for a game, you know, it's a typical Mario game where you're just sprinting and jumping, I don't think you'll find it here, you know, because the sprinting and jumping is not that fast and doesn't go that high, and there's not a lot of like good platforming areas, I guess. But you know, it's just not what the game's about, really, I feel like. And it's just such an amazing game so far for what it goes for, and I think it's so far is accomplishing it really well. I can't wait to give you guys my full opinions and my review that I intend to do down the line, not until I beat the game, so probably not for a while, because I take games really slowly, as I said. And you know, Christmas is coming, gonna get a lot of new games, probably gonna get sidetracked, but that means, you know what that means? That means a lot more first impressions videos coming. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I really hope you did. I'm so glad to be back. I really am so glad to be back. I don't know when the next video will come, probably not for like about a week or so. But that's because, as I said, maybe a little less. I don't know. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. I'm not sure yet. I'm not, like, once I get the channel update out later, probably about in a few weeks from now, maybe, I would say, because I want to get a few videos going first. I'll talk really about what the new schedule is going to be like. But I think it's going to be not focused on, like, uploading, like, every day or anything like that. But I think it's more going to be, like, focusing on getting better quality videos. Because I feel like Let's Plays, I mean, they're fun, and I like making them. But the thing about Let's Plays is they don't get, like, I feel like the thing about Let's Plays is it's hard to explain. Like, I want to talk about all these different games. I don't want to necessarily spend 30 videos playing one game, because I run out of stuff to say, you know. Like, I don't have that much to say about this one game where we'll talk about it for 40 hours and provide interesting commentary, I feel like. But I'm definitely going to continue them, but I just feel like they're not going to be the focus of the channel. And I think in order for me to really expand and also, you know, to, like, what I want to do is I want to talk about all the different games that I play. And I want to make reviews, I want to make top 10s, I want to make those high quality videos, and I want to make first impressions. But in order to do that, I have to put less of a focus on Let's Plays, since I don't have the time to focus on all of those things. But I am still going to do those somewhat often, just not as often. Like I said, wait till the channel update once I've completely decided everything, and that will, I will get back to those old Let's Plays, particularly Bakugan and Splatoon, but they're going to be at a pretty slow pace, I think. I'm not sure. I haven't completely decided exactly what. Like I said, that's what I haven't made the update video yet, because I want to get back to the swing of things before I decide. But stay tuned. Next video is probably going to be, if I had to guess, I'd say about a week from now, but it could be much less, it could be much more, it could be a few days, it could be 10 days. I've got a couple. So what I've been doing now actually in school is just we got laptops this year. So school, I used to hate school. Now I actually enjoy it because first of all, my work is pretty easy this year. I have not had much homework or tests this year. I guess got lucky with even though I take all AP classes, I just gotten kind of lucky that my classes are pretty easy this year. And so pretty much in every class, if I have my laptop, I'm just writing reviews for games, writing video scripts, which is pretty sweet. So I've got a lot cooking. I'm almost done with 2 written scripts, so I'll make one of those new videos soon. I don't know how many days it'll come up. It could be 3, it could be 10, but please stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you stick around because videos gonna be coming back now. I'm just so glad to be back. It's been so long. So much has changed in my life since then, but life goes on, as they say. Thank you so much for watching. Tell me what other games, I'm gonna, Christmas is coming. I'm probably gonna get a lot of games for Christmas, and probably gonna buy some other games I don't get for Christmas that I didn't get the chance to play this year, especially because I missed so many months of gaming. So if there's any other games you'd like to see my first impressions on, and maybe even a review on down the line, let me know, and I'll hopefully do it. Maybe I'll definitely consider it, but, like, I don't have that much money, but yeah, if I'm interested in playing it and you want to see it, I'll probably do it. And like I said, I'm probably going to try to do first impressions video of pretty much every new game I play. Although, Odyssey is not necessarily a new game. Any game that I start playing, even if it's an old game, but Odyssey is going to be taking up a lot of my gaming time for the next month or so. So, I don't know how many first impressions are coming next month, but we've got some reviews, got some top 10s in the works. Pretty excited about the future. I'm pretty excited about YouTube. I'm so glad to be here. I'm so glad to talk about games with you guys, be reacting also to stuff like Nintendo stuff like that. And stay tuned for more stuff. I'm taking way too long to end this because I'm glad to be back and I want to keep going and I'm loving it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being here. Let's have a great future together. Thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. And I will see you guys next time.